Okay, sorry about the, you should see these weird lines on the page. That's just because I've got my classroom lights on and the camera actually picks up the frequency of the fluorescent bulbs. But if I put it off, I think, let's see if I put my lights off, if it looks better. Whoa, this is super dark. Guys, is this better or with the lights on?
So this is better.
Okay. So as long as you can see, I'm happy. It feels like really dark in my class, but I can see as well, so I'm happy. Okay. We are almost done with page 6. And then the idea today is I have opened an assignment on MS Teams, and we'll use page 6 as a test to see if you can post stuff, if everyone can post their work. I have seen a lot of your drawings already on WhatsApp. Thank you so much for the feedback. It's only not due, but it's due for today, so I can just have a look. So everyone, you're going to try and send your photo to MS Teams when we're done here. I just want to see, first of all, can you send the photo, from your side, and then just see how you did with our first, not official page, but practice page. Okay, so we'll do that afterwards. Now we were done with this part, and then the next part is just to add the circles and the pentagon, and then those lines. Then we are done. The purpose of these drawings is to copy the image here, so we can practice our basics for EGD. Just want to just want to get this thing focused. Okay, that's the best. I'm going to, no, a bit closer. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is, let's see if I can add those 2 circles to the drawing. And if you've completed the drawing, like most of you done, then just follow along and make sure you did it correctly. For those who are done already and you're getting bored, you can start with page 7. That's our next drawing to attempt. The only part of page 7 that might be difficult is there's a hexagon and there's an octagon, but we'll discuss that tomorrow. But you can already attempt to draw the page and attempt the hexagon, octagon as well if you would like, but we'll speak about that tomorrow as well. All right, let's have a look. So I'm just going to go back to the measurements for the circles. Now, they make the circles a bit difficult to draw because the measurements is not just a straight draw, point A to B type of drawing. You have to actually go and work it out. So if I look at the picture, they don't give me a distance from there to there. What they did give me is the distance from the middle of the square to the end of the page or image, and then backwards. So what I'm going to do is, just want to check, divided by 5. Oh, I never divided this actually. 615 divided by 5. 615 divided by 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, from the middle, I'm going to measure 1, 2, 3 millimeters backwards. Can it be 1, 2, 3? $615 divided by 5 is 1, 2, 3. But now we've got a problem. Oh, it fits in. Barely, but it fits in. Okay, so there's the end of my drawing. And then I'm going to measure 83 from there backwards again. So what's also interesting about EGD is that there's a lot of mathematics involved with calculations, calculating distances or working it out. They don't always give it to you in a straight or easy way to determine the length. Sometimes you have to actually sit a bit and work it out. So it keeps your mind sharp and keeps your mind, keeps challenging your mind, which I think is a good thing. So here's the lines. Let me just zoom out. I'm going to start with the top one, where I'm going to draw the circles. So I know where they start. They actually line up with the edge of your square. And the height for the circles, again, they didn't just give us the height from there to there. I actually have to go to the edge of the picture, 74, going upwards. Okay, so, and someone asked me the first day, can we assume that this value here is the middle? So we can divide the value in half? Yes, because this line not only represents a center line, but for a circle, but also a symmetrical line, which means that side and this side is equal. So if it's 74 divided by 2, that gives me 37. 37. I think I might get access. I have access to a different light, so I'll try in the next class. I'll just attempt a different light. It's not a fluorescent, and maybe I'll take away the flashing. Now, immediately, when you want to draw a circle, draw your center lines first of all, so you don't forget it. That's just for myself as well, because I always forget to draw the center lines. So if you don't, then you are better remembering center lines than what I am. So I usually draw them ASAP. Okay, so there's my center lines. Where's my compass? Okay, the middle circle, inner circle is 20, so that's the diameter, 20. So my radius would be 10. Here's a pro tip for EGD. While I've set my circle to this distance already, before you draw the bigger circle, go to the bottom and draw the other side of the other circle, the inside as well. The reason I'm doing this first is it saves time while your compass is set to the same distance to repeat it on the other side. You might tell me, but sir, we're only saving like a few seconds. That is true. But in a test, sometimes it's a few seconds that you need it for something else. And if you're drawing, by the time you get to the end of grade 10, your paper will be 3 hours long, which sounds like a lot of time. It's not. Believe me, with EGD, 3 hours flies by in minutes. So sometimes you need that extra few minutes to finish another part of a drawing. So also try to teach yourself to draw faster. Now, how you draw faster is obviously with practice, but also by using using methods that saves you time, like drawing the same things with a compass first before you set the compass again. Okay, the bigger circle is 30 millimeters, so that's 15. Now, here's something interesting. if you compare it to your circles there and the circle that you're actually drawing, you see there's quite a difference. So it shows you that you still have to make use of the measurements, because it might look a tiny bit different on your page. Not a lot, but it might. The bottom one. Okay, there's the two circles. I'm going to draw these lines at the end. I just want to first draw the pentagon. Now for the pentagon, what I'm going to do is, let's see if I have enough space. I'm actually going to, no. You know what, I'm going to stay like this because I don't have enough space. What I recommend if you're drawing the pentagon is to turn your whole page board by 90 degrees like this. There's not enough space for me to do it on my desk with the camera and the computer. So I'm going to do it this way, which you can. But if I could give you a suggestion, turn your page. Now the pentagon starts here at the bottom where the picture should end there. Now there's a few ways you can draw a pentagon, but I have found the easiest method, and the one I always remember because I forget the other one, is to use your protractor and your compass together. Step one, draw the base of your pentagon. So what I mean is you draw the first side. And if the total length is 40, then half of it on both sides will be 20/20. I'm going to remove my T-square for now. There's the base. And make a note for yourself. A pentagon has a few principles, a few characteristics. All sides are equal. So if this side is 40, this will be 40, this will be 40, this will be 40, and this will be 40. And all angles are equal. Now there is a formula how you can work out the angles, just remember this, make a mental note and remember it. You will see if you draw enough pentagons, you'll remember this by yourself in any way. On the outside of the base of your pentagon, so from there backwards, that's going to be 72 degrees. Same on the other side. Or if you take it from the inside, it would be 108. Yes, I heard a question. Yes.
Is it the 180 degrees thing?
Yes. So that's important. Minus the one side. So guys, remember, a straight line is always 180 degrees because that's half a circle. That's why on my protractor it says 180. So if you measure the pentagon from the outside, it's 72 degrees. If it's from the inside, it's 108, because 72 plus 108 gives you 180. Good point that you're making there. So that's important. So I usually use the 72. Now look carefully at what I'm doing next. So I'm going to start on my right side of the pentagon. You take your protractor, and on the edge of that line, I'm going to I call it the crosshair, in the middle of that dot. So that little cross there, I call the crosshair in the middle, and then make sure the line of the protractor is parallel to my own line. So not like this or this, it has to be exactly parallel. I'm going to take a red so you can see this. Now from 0, I follow all the way to 72. So there's 70. So 72 is 2 more lines onwards, the longer lines. And what I then usually do is I take a different color and I make a little mark for myself. So I made it in red so you can see it. And I just connect that red dot and the corner together. Don't make it dark yet. This is still construction. Right, there's the one side. Rinse and repeat on the other side. I'm going to go to the bottom of my, I'm just going to turn it so you can see it. So again, 0, follow to 70, 72. I'm going to make a red mark again. And connect it together. So what I have so far is a base that's in A-type line and then 2 construction lines where the pentagon continues. Now, how do we know where it ends? Now, here's a lacquer method you can adapt or adopt. Your compass is not just useful for drawing circles. Your compass can also be used as a ruler and a pencil in one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my compass to 40, or even easier, this line here should be 40 already because I've drawn it. So now there I've set my compass to 40 millimeters. There's a pencil. So what I'm going to do is put the sharp end on the one side and then make a little mark on my line. This line will automatically be 40 as well because my compass is set to that distance. The same thing on the other side. Now I'm almost done. Now here's an awesome rule, not rule. I call it a natural law in EGD. There's some laws in nature that we are bound to. If you think about gravity, you can be anywhere on Earth, gravity will act upon you. So there's a natural law or natural law in on Earth. If I take any object and I lift it above the surface and I release it, it will drop every single time. It's not like the one time I'm going to release the rubber and it's going to fly upwards. It's going to come down back to Earth every single time because it's a natural law. Same thing for geometry or when working with shapes. The rule is as follows, or the law is as follows. If you're drawing any type of shape, like a square or a triangle, rectangle, pentagon, hexagon, or octagon, if you have all the sides except for 2, because I need 2 more, and you've got all the corners except for 1, so 2 sides and 1 corner, you can take your compass. Now look carefully what I'm going to do. Make sure the distance is still 40 millimeters. Now put your compass on the edge of that new corner. Draw a big arc or part of a circle. Release and do it on the other side again. And where the 2 arcs intersect one another, that has to be the last corner. And the angle will be correct and the distance will be correct. So if you do this with a triangle, same concept. If you do it with a hexagon, the same concept. If you do it with an octagon, the same concept. You'll see this tomorrow when we do the hexagon and the octagon. Oh, whoa, that was a horrible line. Raise your shield, activate. And a quick way to check that your pentagon is correct is to rotate your board. So if the pentagon looks kind of similar from every single angle, mine looks a bit weird because I've got a, the camera's not parallel, so it warps the picture a bit. It should look constant. You know you've drawn a pentagon. Okay, so there's a pentagon. And now to connect these lines, you do the following. Take any ruler, bring it as close as possible to the edge of the circle and the corner of the pentagon. So that's too far. That's not far enough. So on the edge of the circle and at the same time, the corner of the pentagon, and link them together. On this side, the same. There we go. That was a bit off, so you can see there's a bit of a line sticking out. So I would, you know, that's not what had to happen, but I just want to show you there's my mistake. Now let's just quickly, before I show the entire picture, let's run through the pentagon again. So I'm going to turn my camera. Let's pretend this was the base. So the rule is as follows. The easiest way, according to me, but you can use a different method, that I'm not going to stop you. According to me, the easiest way to draw a pentagon is to first draw the side, the base, the side that stands on the ground. Not really, but pretend. Then measure 72 degrees on both sides. Draw those lines. Take your compass and make sure this distance is equal to that distance and on the other side, and draw those two parts. Then keeping your compass the same distance, put it on the edge of those two new corners and draw a big arc here in the middle, and where they intersect one another, that'll be your last corner. And that's how you draw a pentagon every single time. It could be larger, it could be smaller, same process. Now, the last thing we need to do is to just add the dimensions that they gave us. There's 3 dimensions that they had with a little correction mark. We just need to add. The first one is the radius of the circle inside the square. Remember that your triangles, arrows should be as small as possible and as narrow as possible. So don't make it too big.
So isn't that the diameter?
What did I say? Radius. Oh, sorry. Yes, diameter. That's the diameter. I apologize. Diameter. Now, listen very carefully. Here's now something that's going to catch you. We scaled down by 5, but you still give the original diameter. So remember, the scale is only there for the draftsman. That's us drawing the picture. But you still apply the original measurement. Like I said, if you see a picture of someone on your phone, they look smaller because the phone image is smaller than a person. But it's not like the person has shrunk down in real life. They are still the same size. Then it's the diameter for the small circle. So make a mental note. When you give me back measurements, always work with the original measurements, unless the question, I've never seen this before, unless the question tells you that you have to use the scaled down measurements. But I've never seen this. It's always, you always talk about the original measurement. Yes.
How's it gonna work when we do it on the computers or on our tablets?
Computers
start drawing.
is actually easier. Since on a computer, you can actually zoom in and zoom out on your screen. Like, because you've got a mouse or a screen, you can zoom in. We stick to scale 1:1. You can just make the picture smaller or bigger to see different parts. That's a nice thing about working with computers. You don't have to change the scale because you can just
Are we
zoom.
going to do it in 3D on the computers?
We're gonna do we're gonna start off 2D, but it will later move over to 3D.
Alright.
Okay, so that's the nice thing about on a computer. We can always use scale 1:1 because you do not have to change the scale. You just zoom in and zoom out. We can't zoom in on a picture physically. You can do it by changing the scale. Now the last measurement. So I'm just going to show it to you. The length. And it was 6.
How much time is left of the period?
There is about 5 minutes. So we're going to stop here. So have a look. So I'm going to post it now on the group again, but please send me a picture of your page 6 in total. For 2 reasons. I want to see how you did with your picture, and secondly, if you can actually access MS Teams. If I don't get a picture from you, I'll just contact you and check if there's a problem. Then we'll make a different plan. So this is just to test if MS Teams will be useful when it comes to assignments. So this won't count for marks. This is just practice. Speaking about practice, yes.
So is it fine if I maybe just get a little bit more time for this, sir? Because I forgot to scale it down and my picture is massive. So I want to actually just scale it down so it can look better, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I'll only check tomorrow. I'll give you guys some time because some of you still need to finish it. So I'll check tomorrow afternoon, okay?
Okay,
then,
thank you, sir.
Then if you're done, guys, tomorrow we're going to start with page 7 if you haven't yet. Same question. But luckily for you, this time the scale is 1:1. So we don't have to go and divide or multiply of anything. But the focus for this page is how to draw an octagon and how to draw a hexagon, even if half of it is hidden. Okay, that was our lesson for today. We'll see each other tomorrow. I'm going to post this video and I'll just remind you on the group again about posting the page 6. Marian, I see you have a question.
Sir, I just wanted to ask, should we upload our homework as a PDF or as a regular picture?
Either or, I can see both PDF or picture. It depends on what's easier for you to see to upload. So either picture or PDF, I won't mind as long as I can see it. Good question, thank you. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, grade 10s. We'll see each other tomorrow again. And thank you for the class. Sorry about the MS Teams. We'll still figure out all the kinks. See you then tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, sir.